Hello, listeners. This is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Magical from Eden Hazard. Kai Havertz in the Champions League final. Ivanovic! In the middle, it's just behind him. But it's tapped in by Hakim Ziyech. Matic with the ball driver. Matic takes the net off. Hat-trick hero. Cole Palmer wins an epic, sensational game.
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode...
Are Chelsea in a title race? Well, for me, it's between two horses, Liverpool and Arsenal, and a little horse that needs milk, needs to learn how to jump. Maybe next season, Chelsea can race. Oh, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of At the Bridge Pod. I'm joined in a virtual room filled with some lions. I've got Ollie, I've got Chris, I've got Virtual Birth.
Has France been said?
He's not here today, but he'll be back. He'll be back on Thursday, maybe Friday. Well, no, we're doing the Thursday show because I'm out Friday and Chris is out Friday. Not together, we're not. But anyway, what were your moments from that weekend of fun? Down.
No, sorry, I got nothing.
To be fair, I had quite a quiet weekend. I don't remember what I did now. Do you know when you have those weekends that just seem to go so quick that you feel like you didn't have one?
Okay, I'll let you off.
I had one of them weekends where it was like it was here and then just gone.
It's gone.
I tell you what, I did happen.
Oh,
So I was meant to have my football team night out on Saturday night.
okay.
Getting the train into Birmingham. Got kicked off at Longbridge train station and all of the trains was backed up. So couldn't get there. We asked the driver of the train and he said that there was people in the tunnels at New Street. So yeah, we just had to go to just me and two of the other lads had to just go to the pub instead. But it was like, we was meant to be going to like some interactive football thing that we was actually really looking forward to and then couldn't get
Okay.
there. So yeah, that was shit.
Yeah, I know. I went into Worcester. And oh my word, the trains were all cancelled out of Worcester. Ollie, did you have a quiet one?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've been trying to bring some in every week at the moment, but I'll be honest, I've got nothing at the moment.
That's fine. But it's honestly, it's all right because on Friday's show, I hyped up my cat is messing around with the back of my PC again.
Oh, it's going to unplug my key.
It really is. Please don't do that, Tom. Anyway, I hyped up my must-watch games for the weekend, and I bloody nailed it. I told you, catch the Copa Libertadores final. I was vindicated because 30 seconds in, Gregory, I'm not sure how you say it, decided my cat has took out my monitor again. He's not helping. He's not helping. He will be locked out at the rate it's going. So anyway, at 30 seconds in, Gregor decided, you know what this game needs? Violence. His foot met Fausto Vera's head in what could only be described as an unsolicited high five. Ref went full no nonsense. Very rare in a final. Straight red. So Botafogo had to play 89.5 minutes with 10 men. So rare in a final. It didn't even stop them. They won 3-1. I mean, why not? Why not defy logic? Why not? I will say, though, the last 20 minutes, if you missed it, listener, you didn't, because let's call them challenging. Atletico couldn't hit the target if their lives depended on it. And Botafogo, they couldn't string together two passes to save theirs. It was a chaotic end. It was madness. It was absolute madness, but it was worth a watch. I told you it would be.
Do you know what? I said that that league is just absolutely mental. So, it's just, it's always a good time.
Other than that, Sounders are sadly out with the MLS playoffs, losing to the LA Galaxy, who they lost their best player with a torn ACL in Ricky Puig, which that's a huge loss, which is a shame. They play Red Bulls this weekend, I think, in that cup final. Seahawks got another W on the road to the Jets. For those interested in my bacon, I always do everything. I made some mince pies, and Sunday baked up some mince pie crumble bars, which I safely put in the fridge, bottom shelf. Came down, just was doing the script for today's show, and I heard a bang. That was when I shuddered because I realised the shelf had given way and the crumble had gone. Whoop. Thankfully, I reflexed.
Oh.
I was Petr check and I was able to save it before it fell on the floor. But yeah, I was opening the fridge door, putting my hand in. I was like, oh, fucking hell. Yeah, it was one of them. But we did it. We did it. So on that, I have got a chef a shout out, and it's from Timmy. Hi guys, big fan. Thanks for the brilliant and consistent podcast. They are the highlight of my day. Well, thank you, Timmy. Seriously, thank you. We always appreciate these. They're the best. I always feel they're the best. They're like a warm hug. I always love the chef a shout outs.
They are nice to get. They are.
They are
nice to
really
get.
good. They are.
Absolutely.
So, news. Technically just the one piece of news. Right now we've got the FA Cup draw going on. I've got the live draw starting soon video. It's not started yet. Obviously when it does, we'll let you know. And it's probably when we're recording.
But if it
Other than
hasn't
that-
started, if it hasn't started yet, it means it's still got about 3 hours to go.
Of course, we're going to see all the highlights of what happened in the second round. So was just the one bit of news was the post-game presser when Enzo Maresca confirmed Wesley Fofana has a hamstring issue, will be sidelined for up to 5 weeks. So he's definitely out of the Christmas rush. I'm glad Badia Shields found his form though, because we're going to bloody need him or Tosin. I don't know. It's like it's like the taxi cab on the rank, isn't it? Next one up. It's a shame though.
Yeah, it's just another case of these players that we thought had put their injury problems behind them haven't. So
yeah, there's not much to say. I mean, will we go into the market for a centre back? Why not? We need a goalkeeper, but centre back. I don't know. I mean, I feel sorry for him. There's a human side of this. Let's but we knew what we were getting ourselves into when we signed a injury-prone defender, and unfortunately, he can't stay fit. And it's a real shame because he's got into a good run of form.
yeah,
And to have an injury, I'm sure he's not going to happen. But it reminds me of Ziyech, who'd get injured, come back, really good run of form, get injured again, and the cycle would repeat. I hated that cycle because Ziyech was so good when he wanted to be, and then he'd get injured, and then he'd have to get back into form. It's gutted. I was gutted when he came off. I mean, he didn't have the best of games, which I'm sure we'll touch on, but yeah, it was one of them, wasn't it? Yeah. Anything, Ollie, before we go to winners and losers?
A frustrating one, isn't it? You know, like you just want to be able to support these players, you know, support them when they're on the pitch. It's, you know, arguably sometimes it's harder to support them when they're not on the pitch. But I think Wes has a good attitude, so I think he'll come back stronger from it. Let's hope anyway.
Right. Time's head for winners and losers, because what did we do? We welcomed Aston Villa to Stamford Bridge. Cole Palmer with the ball. Takes it on. Top left corner.
Good golf clap. I love that.
Absolutely spectacular. Yeah. Chelsea 3, Aston Villa 0. That was the exact commentary line. I was amazed how it went in.
Are we going to do a different sport every week?
Yeah. I am so tempted with that. I'm so tempted.
that was excellent.
Thank you. We kick off with the winners as always. Who have you got? How many have you got?
I've got 3 and 3.
I've got 3 and 3.
I've got 3 and 2. I've let the team down. I struggled with losers this week, which is nice. It was nice. I couldn't even put Sanchez in. I was so tempted, but he was all right.
It's better than the other way, isn't it?
Yeah, that is always true. By the way, the FA Cup draw is currently going on. I will let you know when that happens, when we get pulled out the hat. So I feel like we're going to all have him on the little winners list. So did we all have Mark Cucurella?
Yes.
Yes. I
Yes.
did.
I love Mark Cucurella. I mean, the absolute turnaround in his career at Chelsea. I mean, his game by numbers against Aston Villa: 105 and 109 accurate passes, 3 or 4 tackles won, 2 clearances, 2 headed clearances, 7 defensive actions, 6 recoveries, 5 duels won, and dribble past just once all damn game. I mean, well done, sir. Well, I mean, he is, for me, the best left back in the Premier League. No debate. Guardiola, Robinson, Robertson. Nah, not touching this level. Not touching the level. I was so bloody impressed with Cucurella. Whenever I saw him, nothing got past him. So I'd love to know who dribbled by him. I'd love to know, because he looked impenetrable all game. Why was he a winner for you guys?
He was just everywhere, wasn't he? Like, again, like we've said it time and time again. He sets the standard at this point for the physical and the mental aspects of the team. Like he sets the level that everyone else should be working at, and that's just valuable in and of itself for the team. But it also means he works bloody hard, and he does a really, really, he does a really, really effective job. I mean, you know, this is the first time I think this season where I've actually seen him kind of almost do that traditional overlapping fullback role as well as his inverting into midfield in order to get the assist. Of course, he goes and wins the ball really handily in a big 50-50 that he does really well. And if he doesn't win that and then make the cross, after passing it to Sancho, we don't go 1-0 up. The game could be really different. So it's not just now that he's performing really well and setting the standard. He's actually making the difference in those games and actually putting us on a path to victory. And that's hugely important.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Chris, a winner. Why?
Everything you boys have just said, really. I think he's getting better as well. I think both on and off the ball, he's improved a lot. I think he's showing that he's more versatile now as well. That it's not just when he inverts that he looks good. Like Ollie said, he was playing as more of a traditional left back in this game, and he looked equally as good. I think if he stays for as long as Azpilicueta did, I think he'll leave with a similar stature.
Wow. How many trophies? That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, he just reminds me so much of Azpilicueta because I know people tend to think about Azpilicueta in like his last couple of years, but if you remember him in his earlier years and especially the sort of mid years, that's exactly what he was. He was a tone setter. He was up for every game. He was a leader on the pitch. He always played with intensity. You could put him anywhere and he'd do a job. They're very similar physically as well. And I just think he at the moment he's playing very much like Azpilicueta was in his prime, and I think that's testament to him that he could be put now on a level with someone as good as Azpilicueta was.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Oh, we've got the first draw. Arsenal, Man United.
Oh, that's a big game.
Nice. I'm glad one of them get knocked out. That's what we want.
It's a big game, but it's not really, is it? Because Arsenal are going to pump them about 7-0 with the way they're playing at the moment.
Breaking news alarm is worthy for only Chelsea, not them two small clubs. Come on. So my second winner, well. Enzo Maresca. Well. I must say, Maresca, I was not familiar with your game. On Friday, I did put you as a future loser for starting Sanchez, who I did say he had a decent game. Fair play.
He had a good game. For his standards, he had a good game.
I know, which I'm still not bloody convinced, but it doesn't
matter.
To
be fair, though, for him, a good game is actively not costing us the game.
Yes. In a way, I'm like, damn my predictions. Or maybe I'm like, yay for my predictions, because maybe they inspired him to actually play well. I don't care. Back to Maresca. For me, his decision to start Moises Caicedo at right back was still like, what? Baffling. And yet, because of it, we dominated midfield. I mean, that formation won us the game before the kickoff. Caicedo was influential in that new role. I still don't know how. It was because everyone on social were like, has he put Caicedo at right back?
And he did. He literally did.
And it worked. I mean, I don't know if you guys had him as a winner, but what did you think about that formation?
It was very brave, wasn't it? But I also, it's nice to see a manager like Maresca trust his instincts like that. He could have just shoehorned someone like Disasi in or Toss in easily. Could have done that. But you went, no, we actually need a bit more of bottle in the midfield. We need someone who's going to be able to rotate. We need people who are going to then shift in and out of that position. And we need bodies in midfield. So to put Caicedo there, who's done it before, was an inspired choice. I don't know if you noticed, him and Lavia sometimes were rotating in that position as well. So it wasn't necessarily just him playing right back and then in midfield as well. It was sort of a mix of things, and I think it's a testament not only to Maresca but also his coaching methods. How he can with not that much time to prepare, has kind of set up a totally new way of playing for this team, which we didn't really consider before, and that's we looked bloody good doing it. So long may it continue.
The bollocks on that guy. Oh, by the way, Man City have got Salford. Liverpool have just come out the hat and playing Accrington, Stanley. So we've avoided them. We've avoided a lot of big teams. Yeah.
You don't know with City.
You never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
Go on, Chris.
I think with Maresca, I think over the past few weeks, the thing that's impressed me the most has been his tactical flexibility in terms of going game by game and not completely changing, because we'll have a sort of base philosophy of what he wants to do, but he does seem to be tweaking it based on the opponent. And I don't think we probably shouldn't be shocked by that, because Italian managers are renowned for being very tactically good. You know what I mean? So it's not a shock in that, but I just think it's more of a shock that he's doing it so early, and he doesn't want to just say, no, we play like this regardless of who we're playing. He's willing to change, and I think that will stand us in really good stead going forward. I think having a coach who's more open to adapting based on the opponent is better than having someone who just has a plan A.
Right. It's a home tie, and it's against Morecambe. We've got Morecambe in the cup.
Wow.
That is a friendly fix. Usually when we get the first letter M come out the hat in a cup draw, it's usually Man City.
Congratulations to the B team. You will get to play another game.
Yes. They will definitely play that in January. So, all right. Chris, who's your second winner, of course? Second winner.
I've got Romeo Lavia.
Nice.
I thought he was brilliant. I don't remember him doing a single thing wrong. I think he used the ball really well. He broke up play really well. And we've been saying about the Enzo Caicedo thing didn't work and doesn't work. And it was interesting to see Enzo in there with Lavia, because I think we brought up before about Lavia seemed to get the best out of Caicedo, and it could have been the same with Enzo. I thought Enzo had another good game as well with Lavia. So I think as long as you keep Caicedo and Enzo away from each other, we could have two good players rather than don't play them together. I think Lavia is sort of the linchpin in there who can make both of them, bring the best out of both of them. Thought he was outstanding. Ran the midfield. I thought Caicedo was excellent as well, but I just thought Lavia kind of went under the radar. And when you play in that position, it's almost better not to be noticed.
Well, I guess it's almost a weird one, isn't it? It's like a goalkeeper. When you don't notice them, they probably had a good game, or maybe they haven't. It depends on our keepers. Yeah, Lavia's. It's just nice to see him. I don't think he'll play against Southampton in like his homecoming, so to speak. Just because I think we're trying to keep our players fit, and we know he came back from a nasty injury.
I think he'll be more important to keep fit for Tottenham.
Yeah, I think that'd be that would be more sensible. It'd be interesting to see who obviously plays. Ironically, probably should have been Wesley Fofana, who's on the other team, who won't be playing, but he probably should have been taking that position on Wednesday's game. Ollie, second winner.
It's funny Chris mentions Enzo Fernandez, because he's my second winner.
He's my third one, but go on.
Yeah, like Chris said, I thought Lavia really did bring out a good performance in him, and he was doing basically everything that I wanted. Again, like he's had a few of these performances recently, and it's worth noting he's basically doing what a midfielder should do, which is is breaking up the ball in the middle of the park, starting moves off from our third, then actually contributing to attack meaningfully in the final third. Got himself a goal, nicked himself a really nice finish.
Great goal.
Really nice finish. And that's exactly what we want to see him doing, starting a move off with his passing, which we know is so good, but then affecting the rest of the game as well. And it's just really nice to see the form he's come into lately. He gets a lot of stick on this show, more than most players. But but you've got to give him his flowers because lately he's been very good.
Yeah. I mean, the second Enzo on my winners list today, and it was a you know what, it was a tight race for me between Fernandez and Palmer. Now, I expected someone would put Palmer on the list, so if they haven't, given him a little bit of credit there. But I'm going to give some love to Enzo because he is really thriving in that advanced role, and he's contributed to 3 goals in his last 2 league games. Whoever isn't calling him back needs to keep not doing that because it's working. I saw a good stat since he left his family. He's been on form with all the goals and assists. I'm like, that's I don't bloody.
I don't
very
even know
social
what
media.
to make of it. Yeah,
Very social media that to go, look, 1 + 1 = 5. Yeah, I don't think that's got anything to do with it, if I'm honest. I think it's just, I just think I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why he's good again.
What we're witnessing at the moment is the creation of a new Chelsea FC sort of character. You know how we had like lockdown Pulisic, and we've had like Werner when he plays Southampton. Divorced Enzo is a new one.
Hell. Oh man.
Yeah,
but,
you know what, though, you can't say there's a direct correlation between the two things. But then I don't think you can rule it out either, because when you have stuff, again, I think it's people sometimes separate the footballer from the person, and they are still people. So if they've got stuff going on at home, as much as you say, you're on 200 grand a week, you shouldn't be bringing that into football. They're human. You can't just switch things off. It's, we'd all like to at times, but you can't. So I do think maybe sorting all that out in his personal life has allowed him to focus more on football. You just don't know. But whatever he's doing at the minute, he needs to keep doing, because this is the best version of Enzo I think we've seen.
Yeah, I hate that bullshit as well when they're like, oh, he's rich. Yeah, you can be rich and also suffer mental health issues and a lot of other stuff. It doesn't even have to be, very serious. It can just be you've got something negative going on at home, and it impacts you. It impacts us all when we go to work. If we're having a bad time at home, it's vice versa with bad time at work. You don't just switch off and come home and you're like, I'm fine now. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't.
Exactly.
It's great to see him playing well. It's great to see him have a smile on his face. Long may it continue. Long may it continue. Ollie, who's your final winner?
My final winner is Cole Palmer.
Fair play. I'm glad he's on here.
People have been talking about Cole Palmer. People have been getting a little bit too loud about Cole Palmer lately. Saying he doesn't turn up in big games, his form's dropped off. All of this nonsense, all of this pointless narrative that in my opinion shouldn't exist. Well,
bloody hell! Just say Chris and I's name. Come on.
Not you. Well, not just you. No. But goal and assist against arguably one of the, if not a big team, then one of, a Champions League team, one of the best teams in the league in the last couple of years at least. In terms of a big game, that's really important, especially with the run that we have to go on now. All I'm going to say is stick that in your narrative and smoke it. Cole Palmer is back.
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember, this is an Aston Villa team who are ranked higher than Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid, Man City, Juventus, Real Madrid and PSG in the Champions League. Just saying. Just putting it
exactly.
out there. I don't care what the league means.
To be fair, they haven't won in 8 games, though.
No, neither have City. Well, they have, but
exactly.
They're getting up there. They're getting up there.
But it would still be a big goal and a big assist. It would be a big performance if Palmer still got a goal and assist against them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would.
Right, Chris, round it off. Who's the third?
Caicedo.
Yes, it has to be, hasn't it?
Yeah, I just think to be asked to play that different role, not just to do it, but to do it like he does it every week. He didn't look confused at any point. He wasn't caught out positionally at any point. Seemed to have a complete understanding of what he was doing. I know he'd done it before at Brighton a few times, but I mean, he just walked into that position and looked like a right back. I think it's just testament to his form at the minute. I think you could put him anywhere at the minute and he'd perform, because he's in that sort of flow of just good performance after good performance, and justifying his price tag, I would say. I think
that is the thing.
Yes, I don't think a midfielder of his type will ever truly be worth 115 million. But if he plays like this and stays with us for 10 years, 10 million a year, I think he's earned 10 million a year
Wow.
on his performances.
Wow. Well, we go from winners all the way to losers. I won't kick it off because I've only got two. Chris, who's a loser?
Second half. Uh,
Boring, wasn't it?
yeah,
Up until Palmer scored. Yeah.
until Palmer's goal, absolutely dreadful game of football. Second half, honestly, second half was absolutely dire. Not just from us, but from Villa. Like the game died. It's like Villa came out for the second half and went, "Let's just try not to concede loads."
Yeah.
And we came out and went, "Meh, we've won."
Yeah.
And the game was just sort of played out like an exhibition. Yeah, I thought the second half was absolutely awful, only lit up by a moment of Cole Palmer brilliance.
That is the thing. I mean, it was ironic. I claimed the assist for the Palmer goal because I was watching watching the game, and I just said to myself, like, Palmer's been quiet this second half, and then he does that. I was like, I helped that because it was just such a meh. It was such a meh moment until that goal.
So I was watching the game with my brother, who's a Villa fan, and he said in the second half the most disappointing thing from a Villa point of view was they didn't even try to get back in the game. Like they didn't show any ambition to try and get back in the game at all. They look a really poor side at the minute.
Weird, isn't it? Considering...
Yeah, it's just weird. I know they've got some injuries, but I don't know. I think the amount of teams that just seem to be going through bad runs, you just think something's going on. Players just don't seem very focused.
There's an interesting thing though as well, like because football often goes in cycles like this as well. Like like teams do well and they do badly. I mean, you're seeing it with Man City now. They've had a really long cycle of success, and maybe things are finally starting to fall apart for them. Teams like Villa, they've had their success lately, and now maybe they're falling off a little bit as well. Arsenal aren't as good as they were last season, but then you look at someone like Liverpool, who weren't quite as good as they've been this season, last season, and now they're right up there. So like, I wonder if we're just Chelsea, we're just on a different cycle to everyone else at the moment, probably initiated by the new ownership, and just like I wonder if that's going to help us or hinder.
I don't think you can take much away though from the fact that probably aside from Arsenal that are sort of sandwiched between us and Liverpool, where the similarity between Liverpool and us is fresh manager, fresh ideas, we freshened things up. Whereas Man City, Guardiola's been there a long time now. They didn't, the signings in the summer didn't really freshen them up. I mean, they just brought Gundogan back. Like he's not a young, hungry player who wants to win stuff. He's been there, he's won everything. So he didn't really add much to them. Emery's been at Villa now a long time, and you think he's got them into the Champions League. Was they going to match that again this season? There was always going to be that little drop off, but it just feels like a bigger deal because of where they were last year. I just think we've always been criticised for the whole hire and fire of managers, but I honestly think outside of anomaly managers like Klopp and Guardiola, a manager's cycle now is 3 years. And after 3 years, you'll see a drop off in the team because the players get bored of the same ideas and the same principles and the same thing day after day, the same training methods. Players get bored now. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, unless you are a Guardiola who's, they just kept winning everything. So obviously he was going to stay there, or a Klopp who just seemed to build almost like a family atmosphere at Liverpool. So it was hard to sack him. I just think now you're going to see this more and more at more clubs, just catching up to what Chelsea was doing 20 years ago. Just 3 years is your max now with a manager.
Wow. I mean, it certainly is possible. It's interesting how slots come in and just taking Liverpool like, whoa, new heights. And who'd have thought that after Klopp, which is arguably one of their greatest managers of the Premier League era, if not the greatest of the Premier League era, at least. Ollie, first loser for you.
Yeah, first loser for me might be a slightly strange one. Rule skirters. And I'll explain what I mean by that. Is in this game, I want to point out, right, the referees picked up on a back pass. They checked Enzo for making sure his ball was in the corner. They called Neto up on a foul throw. and they booked 2 people for diving. So it really felt like a day of like the refs were told maybe by someone before the game, listen, you better have a good performance here. We don't want to see anything slip through because we're getting called out week after week at the moment. So it was just interesting to see like what a game was like when I don't know, when the rules were actually adhered to for a change, I suppose. Yeah.
Especially foul throws, because you see them every week in the Premier League.
Oh, easy. Yeah. A foul throw is just standard behaviour. I'm very
foul throw, or as we call it, a throw.
A throw.
Yeah, that's it.
It was, yeah, you're right there. Good shout. Yeah. Right, for me, this might be harsh. This is going to come across as harsh. Berth's saying it right now, bit harsh. I got Wesley Fofana.
No, he's on mine as well.
Hold up, but mine might be a little bit less harsh than yours, Chris. Right, he's on the list not because I thought he played like a loser. He did get out muscled a few times. I must say, I'm not going to, he did. He's a loser because he has been in some seriously good form lately. And like I said earlier on in the news, this latest injury is going to knock him out for a few weeks. And that sucks for him. And you never know if the player who replaces you will permanently take your place of a good run. You never know. Is this new player, I don't know if it's Tosin, we don't know if it's Badie Shield, we have no idea. But if they have 4 to 5 weeks of good play, or overall 80% was very good, do you drop them for Fofana? No, you wouldn't. That'd be silly. If it's working, why change it? That's why he's a loser for me. Why is he for you, Chris?
Similar reasons, but also I thought he actually had overall a good game until he got injured. I thought he was having a good battle with Watkins, but we was 1-0 up, cruising in the game, made a really bad mistake for the Watkins chance. And I think just because Watkins missed the sitter, I don't think it should excuse Fofana from the mistake, because I think if you give Watkins that 9 times out of 10, he puts it in. So that could have changed the whole game, and it was such a poor mistake that he was trying to shield a ball that he should have just cleared. I don't know why he was almost trying to shield the ball like it was going out of play, but they was outside the 18-yard box. So it's like, well, that's never going out of play. So I don't know what you're trying to do. And then Watkins just nicked it, and then he was cleaning on goal. Awful finish, by the way. But just because he missed it, I don't think it can excuse the mistake that could have made a comfortable game really uncomfortable. It's a shame because aside from that, I thought he had a really good game, but then he got injured. And, the problem is, when some players go down injured, your instant thing is, I feel sorry for them.
Yes.
But when it's someone like Reece James or Fofana, or Lavia would be the same, you just think, oh, God, not again.
Yeah, you do. I see your point. I do.
So you can't help it because it's just, you can't trust these players. Like, he's been in good form, but now we're not going to see him now till the new year. And you just think, well, this is the period of the season where I need you most. And again, your fitness has let us down. Same with Reece James.
Yeah. I'll have to look up his injury record, but let me just check. He has been out. Well, he's out for a minimum, apparently 30 days. So far for Chelsea, he will miss with this new injury a total of, that's 26. That's 77, 86 games. He's with the new injury.
Ridiculous.
There's an extra 9. So, yeah, I mean, the 23-24 season, he missed 349 days, 51 games.
Fucking hell.
I know. Tory's obviously his cruciate ligament. It's harsh. And
it is harsh.
We will miss him. And it's harsh to include him, but it's,
Do you know? But the reason he was a loser for me is because of how good he's been lately, and because of the good performances, even in the game he got injured in, that he was putting in. So he is going to be more of a miss than if he was just always injured, or if he came back and wasn't performing.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So, what I will say though is it's potentially a good opportunity for Josh Achiampong, right? You got Reece James injured, Gusto's not fit. Fofana's just got himself injured, right? The only other person who can even play that role is Disasi, really, or Caicedo, right? So Achiampong surely must get a look in at some point, surely.
We've heard positive talks on the contract, so that's good. So That seems to be going somewhere in the right direction. He's training. He was in the squad, I think, for the under-21s. So there's something there. We're never going to fully know. We don't have people behind the lines, but we can only assume what these noises are making. It's the sound that positive movement. So we'll take it because he's a good player. Is he next Reece James? No idea. Haven't seen him play enough. Cannot make that suggestion. But I'd like to be able to see him play. So
yeah,
we'll see. He's got his chance. He has his chance now. Right. So my final loser, only two for me. I've got the alphabet. Very rare does the literal alphabet do us wrong. It does. Without it, we're laughing, we are, but we couldn't do this podcast. We couldn't write words. We couldn't speak words. And without it, the Amazon logo would make no sense. But it has earned its spot on my losers list. It has. It's took a personal shot because it's the only reason Chelsea sit below Arsenal in the league table. Because we're on the same points, same goals conceded. Head-to-head record and away goals just don't count till both teams have played each other home and away. So for me, the alphabet, you're a loser for me. Took a personal shot. Not necessary. We're joint second now. We're joint second. I don't want to see this bullshit that we're third. We're not. We're joint second. You can't separate us and Arsenal. No.
Maybe we should change our name to AFC Chelsea.
Well, I saw that we trademarked the Chelsea and something Chelsea as well, and everyone was like,
"Well,
does this
that's
matter?"
just going to put us even lower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were,
The Chelsea.
and I saw some people go, "Why have we done it?" And I'm like, I think there's something there in case we move stadium. I wouldn't be shocked.
Maybe.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that is the case, but that's where my mind went. It went there.
I'll change our name to like a club called Chelsea.
What was it? London Blue. London Blue on Pez.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, I'm pissed.
Ollie, who's your final loser for today?
You know what? I struggled to find a loser, and then I thought about who had a bad game, and I thought he's got to be there. Ollie Watkins.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
dreadful.
He was awful. Not only have you been bested several times by Robert Sanchez,
Which
but
is
he was
embarrassing.
he was absolutely dog walked by our centre backs most of the game. Even when Badiashile came on, he didn't give him any trouble either. Maybe I hate to say it about someone who's scored a goal for England, in quite a big game and things like that, but was he a one season wonder? I don't know. Is he going to be able to emulate that form when all the stars haven't aligned? He's having a harder time this season. John Duran's breathing down his
Have
neck.
you
I don't know. He's struggled this season, and it's not doing it. It's doing him no favors.
have you seen the stat that he's missed 13 big chances this season?
Oh wow.
Oh wow, we've swapped strikers basically.
Yeah, 13. It's one more than Haaland.
Wow. That is insane.
Eesh.
Wow. Who's your final loser, Chris?
I've got Mikhailo Mudryk. Simply because he didn't play.
Oh, okay.
And I just think he's been someone who I think has been performing quite well in the B team, and you've seen other players do well in the B team, get given opportunities to then play in the first team, and Mudryk and Nkunku to a degree don't seem to have the same treatment there. Neto had a couple of good games in the B team and then started in the first team. Sancho played well on Thursday, started this game. But Mudryk plays well, doesn't even get off the bench. And Nkunku's been doing well for the B team and gets his usual 10, 15 minutes, whatever it was. I think it was a bit longer in this game, actually. But yeah, I just think with Mudryk, and I'm not a massive Mudryk fan, as you well know, but I do think he has been looking better each game, and I do think he's looking more confident. And that's all well and good doing it in the B team against these pub teams, but we'll never know if that's translated into the Premier League if we don't actually put him on the pitch. And when you're 3-0 up in a game, to be fair, even 2-0 up with the way this game was going, and comfortable and cruising, it's sort of the perfect opportunity to get him on and give him minutes just to see whether that sort of confidence is going to translate into a tougher opponent. I just think we're missing a trick with him at the minute, because if he doesn't get chances now when he's actually doing okay, well, he's never going to get them then.
No, you're right. That's a
I
good
think
point.
you'll find he'll be playing against Morecambe, Chris.
He will be. He'll be.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to that. All right. So emojis for this one. I've got a smirk because I was smirking at just how good we are. But now we're good. It's nice. It's positive. Social media is positive. It's nice. What have we got then?
Can I be greedy and have two emojis?
Oh, go on then.
I've gone with the beer emoji and the shrimp emoji together. Because Mark Cucurella, he drinks Estrella, he eats paella, etc.
Nice. I like that. I like
Good.
it. I like it. Come on, Chris.
Do you know what? I'm gonna go with the trophy emoji
Oh.
because title race.
Oh, maybe. Can we say that? Oh.
That's so tongue in cheek coming from you as well.
If to be fair though, like I'm always one for playing down expectations, but if Arsenal are title challengers, then so are we.
Yeah. I like that. I like it. I'm not even going to go. I guess that was that a
Overreaction, I think.
I don't know if it maybe. Right. Some serious business now. We've got Lion of the Week to look through, and there is a clear winner. He's not here tonight, but I'm giving it birth because he had Caicedo, I had Palmer, Ollie had Colwill, and the wheel went with Badia Shield. I'm not even trying to claim that. That is a Caicedo.
No stinkers though on that entire list.
No. Who was the actual Lion? Was it Caicedo or Enzo? Who do you think?
Caicedo.
We give it Caicedo.
I think it's got to be, hasn't it?
I know part of me thinks Cucurella, but I
Yeah,
think maybe Caicedo
Oh.
because he was playing out of position.
I think that's fair. I'm going to go with Caicedo. And if you wondered who's leading actual Lion of the Week so far this season, it is Caicedo. He's got fucking 5. He's killing it. He's really doing well.
He's had an unbelievable season so far.
Yeah, I'm well impressed. Right. So Lion of the midweek. We'll do a little preview at the same time. Southampton. We're at Southampton. I've gone early. I went early today because Nicholas Jackson, the man in form right now, and against that,
We didn't mention it, but what a finish it was, by the way.
Yeah,
Weak
on
of
the
foot,
volley.
on a deflection. Man.
I think against that Southampton back line, he will feast like I do on Christmas Day. Because I'm going to tease you with Southampton. This is their injury report. They've got Bazunyu, goalkeeper, he's out. Ramsdale is out. Lallana's out. Ben-Narak
Wait,
is
who have
out.
they got in goal?
I have no idea.
No one.
Flynn Downs is out. Harwood Bellis is suspended. Tyler Diblin suspended. Leslie Ugochukwu can't face us, and I don't think he'll play again for Southampton because he scrubbed everything about Southampton from his social media. He's done that. I was like,
and rightly so.
I was like, oh, that's the. Do I still have the trope alert alarm? I wish I do.
Trope alert.
There we go.
Trope alert.
Yeah, the classic sponging everyone from your social. That's
Maybe he's been told that he's coming back.
Oh,
What, in January, maybe?
Yeah.
I haven't thought. So who do you think? I'm going to look at Southampton's third goalkeeper now.
Alex McCarthy, innit?
Oh, Jesus, really?
Oh, yeah, it is. Wow.
Yeah.
I forgot he still
Wow.
played. Remember him?
Right. Do you know what? And he's going to pull out a masterclass now.
No,
He's
he
gonna make
won't.
14
No, he
saves.
won't.
Man of the match.
No,
Yeah,
no. Not having it.
14 saves, going to get an
No,
assist.
I'm not having it. No, no, not having it.
All right, I'll go for someone who I think, because I think we will rotate a little bit in this game. I'm going to go with Yao Felix.
Yeah, I feel it. Wow.
Oh, nice.
wow.
Good shout.
It's a bit brave, but I think he is going to play. So
The wheel has spoken and gone Madueke.
interesting. I was going to say he definitely will play because he didn't start, did he? So
He got booked though. Got booked for
That's
diving.
Felix, the comments. It was interesting actually to hear Maresca say the comments he made about Palmer and Felix together. I was saying like they are the players that people come to watch, and I was like, well, one of them is,
Yeah.
But if he believes in him that much, well, he'll be playing against Southampton. Then you'd have thought.
Yeah. I think it's tough this because I think on paper this game should be really easy, but the spanner in the works is the fact that it's away midweek, And I just think it makes it a more difficult game than it probably should be. But I'm going to go with Pedro Neto.
Oh,
I think
like
his
it.
pace could kill Southampton.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we've done a little preview there, listener, because obviously the injuries are going to play a part. And I think we've got a pretty. We're all right. Obviously, Fofana. Wonder if Jorgensen will start. Probably not. Probably not. It's a goalkeeper. What do they have to do? Stand in goal. Yeah. It's not much.
I don't think we'll rotate that much. I don't think we'll. I think Lavia might come out, and I think that'll be it. I think Lavia will come out.
I don't think we'll do a wholesale rotation like we've been doing for the like the B squad. I don't think it'll be the B team playing Southampton.
No,
I think
not a chance.
I think maximum 3 or 4 changes. I would have thought.
Okay. Right. Christmas questions. Craig on the Discord has asked us: is Moises Caicedo our best right back? He's our one that stays fit, doesn't he?
Well, he's the only one who plays every week.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess he is at the moment.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Vic Ferreira, who's said, now that Fofana is out, who is your first choice centre back to play with Colwill? Oh.
Don't ask me that.
Can I say to Sarsi for a bit of banter?
Caicedo, just play him everywhere.
We need him at right back. He can't do both.
Yeah,
It's tough. I think it's tough, this, because I think the most informed one to come in is probably a Badiashile. But
yeah.
I'd worry about Badiashile playing on the wrong side.
I agree.
Because his passing off his stronger foot's really good at the minute when he's playing well, but off his weaker foot, I just think he's going to look very uncomfortable there. And if teams figure that out and they start pressing him on the left side, forcing him to play off his weaker foot, I think that could give us some problems. But I do think it has to be him at the minute because I just don't think the others are good enough. Like Disasi, Tosin's a typical free agent signing. He's there, but you never really want to play him.
No.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Badiashile at the minute.
Right, I'll tell you what. There was a good question from I wrote Zayla in the Discord. I can't read it. They know what they said about Enzo's partner. They know what they said. It was about things holding you back, but we're not going to go into that. So what we'll go into is JP, who's asked a very nice question here. With so many matches coming up, does Maresca finally make changes to the Premier League starting 11? Namely, who starts at keeper? No bloody chance. I wish. Ain't going to happen, is it? Not after Sanchez actually played like a keeper last weekend.
Yeah, that secured him to play for the next 6 weeks minimum. Just so you know,
or 6 years.
Until he either gets injured, suspended, or makes such a series of catastrophic errors that cost us games, he won't. He will continue to play this season, probably all season.
Right, we'll wrap up today's show with the end of show game. Guess the player by their career path. If you're new here, listener, here's how it works. I'll describe a player's career path. Your job's to figure it out and who it is. We're doing Wikipedia. First person to guess correctly takes the win. And if either of the two, we've got 2 people today, guess wrong, you're frozen out until everyone else has had a go. So don't go too early. No one wants to come early. Come on. I've got 3 players ready. So let's get started with the first one, who started his career at Lazio before moving on loan to Tanana, before making a permanent switch to Juventus, and then a move to Napoli.
This could be like half of Serie A.
It could be.
Yeah, I know. Serie A ones are so hard because they move clubs so often.
Well, they then moved to AC Milan. So
yeah, see what I mean?
a lot of Italian teams now. But then they thought they're not fancying Italy, so they went to Scotland and joined Celtic, and then moved to Sheffield Wednesday.
So it's probably like a 90s, early 2000s.
This is a fucking weird career
They
path.
then moved from Sheffield Wednesday to West Ham United.
Seriously, imagine giving up Milan for Glasgow.
Before moving to Charlton Athletic. They then returned to their first club, Lazio, before finishing their career at a club called Cisco Roma.
No,
this is a very famous striker. This is no random player. This is a player you know very well. Very, very well.
Lazio.
What era was it, Mikey?
Juventus,
Can you tell us
AC
the era?
Milan.
From 1985 to 2008.
So
Striker.
retired.
Very famous Premier League striker. Very famous. For off the field stuff as well as on the field. He made Fabian Barthez look a fool. Not hard, I guess, but
I'm drawing a blank here.
I feel like you should focus on West Ham. That should be your focus. West Ham.
West Ham. Paolo Di Canio.
Paolo Di Canio. Oh, yes, that's the man. That's who we were looking for. I don't know.
I'll be honest with you. Absolutely no idea he went to Scotland.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yep.
I know because of a football manager game that was Celtic.
Why
Football
would
Manager.
you?
It was
Exactly.
Right, next player up. They started their career at Mainz before moving to Bayer Leverkusen. They then left the Bundesliga to join Chelsea in the Premier League. They left Chelsea. An early one.
Is it Michael Ballack?
Oh, it's not.
Oh.
It's not. Because he would have played for Bayern, wouldn't he?
Oh, yeah. Never mind.
Chris
I remember he played for Leverkusen.
Chris could get a nice 2-0 lead here by knowing that he left Chelsea to join Wolfsburg. He then signed from Wolfsburg to Borussia Dortmund. Oh.
No, give me one more.
He missed the Premier League so much he returned to London to play for Fulham on loan.
No, I don't think it is.
Before ending his career in Russia with Spartak Moscow on loan. I will give you.
No.
Go on. No, I'll give you a clue.
Yeah.
He was at Chelsea.
If you're going to give us a clue, let Ollie back in.
Ollie, you back him. He played for Chelsea between 2013 and 2015.
Oh, 2 years. Fucking hell.
Only 2 years.
Oh, I know who it is.
Oh.
It's Andre Schürrle.
It is indeed Andre.
Finished his career in Russia, did he? Interesting.
Yeah, I remember that. Spartak Moscow. Yeah.
He retired
I remember him
early.
going to Fulham as well. Yeah.
Yeah, he retired at 29. Very, very, very early.
Yeah.
Underrated player.
Saw the writing on the wall, I think, if he was in Russia, to be fair.
Yeah.
Well, there was a lot going off the field, I believe, with him because he obviously spoke to Dortmund to just terminate his contract and then just retire. So, yeah. Right, final player. Started his playing career at Portsmouth before moving to a club that I'm going to butcher on loan called La Louvière. Probably got that right.
It's not a real club.
That's another one Mikey's made.
Yeah. He then moves to a club on loan called Macclesfield Town.
And not a real club.
They're not real either, but just for different reasons.
He goes on another loan. This is going to be a theme, by the way, to AFC Bournemouth. And then he goes on loan to Yeovil Town before going on another loan to Yeovil Town. Before going on another loan to Ipswich Town.
Fucking hell.
He then makes a permanent move from Portsmouth to Stoke City. Before deciding to leave Stoke City and join Chelsea. Chelsea.
Is it
Who the fuck
Robert
have we
Hoof?
signed from Stoke?
No, it's not Robert Hoof. He then left Chelsea to join Bournemouth before going on loan to Karabag. He then
Who the fuck is this?
and then he decided Karabag. No, he then takes a step to the Serie A to play for AC Milan on loan.
What the fucking weird? What an agent! What an agent he's got.
He then joins Everton Football Club before moving to QPR, and then he returned this year to Everton. He's a player on Everton's books right now who has played for all those clubs.
He's played for us.
He has played for us. I can fully confirm that. And the listener, you may know him. You know who it is. They know. They know at home.
He started at Portsmouth, so I would assume he's English.
He has a 2016-17 Premier League title with us. He has the Azerbaijan Premier League title in his...
legend.
I've already guessed, but I don't know.
If you know Ollie, you could go.
It's more of a
I
guess.
go.
Is it someone like Josh McEachran or something
No,
like that?
no. Because if I tell you he won Bosnian Footballer of the Year 2012, does that help you?
Oh yeah, I know it is. It's Asmir Begovic.
It is Asmir Begovic, indeed it is. Chris is
I
just
didn't realize
completely lost.
I didn't realize he was still on the books at
Hold on.
Everton, and
How-
he went to Karabag and then did their goalkeeper get injured or something? Milan, so like they needed a goalkeeper.
Maybe, yeah, I think so.
Right. How does a Bosnian start his career at Portsmouth?
I don't know.
Remember he counted as homegrown. I think when he was here, so he must have been in England for a long time. When he was at Chelsea, he
Right.
counted as homegrown.
Okay.
I will read it out for you. It says here, Begovic signed a youth contract with Portsmouth in the summer of 2003, and due to him not having a European Union passport, he spent 2 years on an education visa. Is there any more information on why he was there? He went to America. He went to Canada.
Yeah,
And then he got a trial.
Canadian
Yeah, he got a trial with Portsmouth and Spurs. So there you go. That makes sense.
Yeah, that I'll be honest with you, that completely threw me off the scent because I was only thinking of English players.
Oh dear. Right, 2-1. Great game. Thank you for listening, everybody. To the episode. Treat yourself well. We'll be back on Thursday for the Friday show. Just roll with it. And till then, that is gonna be us signing off.
You've been listening to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At the Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.